Everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back in my conservatory. I haven't filmed in here in a really long time, but as you can tell it's dark outside and I have my light that I can use when it's dark and I can't bother to take it inside, and I wanted to sit down and discuss a book that I have recently finished. I finished it yesterday and I wasn't going to film a review video just because I thought, I don't know, it's a bit of like a young book. I can't imagine a lot of you would go out to read it because of people having different tastes, but I loved it so much. I know it's going to be one of my favourite books of the year. So I was like, sod it, it's something that I enjoy and I know I'd regret not reviewing it, so I wanted to sit down and discuss it. So I read it on my Kindle. I want to quickly apologise now if you can hear the heater in the background. It's so cold that I want to keep it on, so I apologise if you hear some sort of like whirring in the background. And you can see Rue here in the reflection in the window. She's actually currently sat just off camera trying to scrabble her way in like last time. And I'm also in my comfies. I've just got home from work and I was like, you know what, sod it, I just need to film this video. So the book I want to sit down and discuss with you is After by Anna Todd. So I read this on Kindle. So the way I heard about it was at the start of each new year I always Google book to movie adaptations, because I like to watch films that have been based around a book. It's just something that I enjoy. So at the start of every year I always just do my research and see if there are any out, and there are a couple that I wanted to can you see Rue? Look at Rue, stop it, you're not getting in here. She's still just going for gold. You're going to have to ignore that. So there are a couple that I was interested in, and then I saw After and I thought there was a trailer for it. And I watched the trailer and I was like, looks a bit naff, looks a bit young. I'm not too sure if I'm going to give it a go. And then I saw it on 99p on Kindle and I was like, you know what, sod it, I'm just going to give it a go. It's £1. So I paid for it, put it off, didn't read it for a couple of weeks, and then I finished my book and I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it a go, and I'm so glad I did. It's basically, so the premise of the book is it follows a main girl called Tessa. She is starting college in America and you see her like starting out her journey, going to the dorms and all of that with her mum and her boyfriend. She meets her roommate, and her roommate is not someone that she would ever really associate herself with. Like, she's very like pristine and proper and like quite conservative and quite like respectful, and then her roommate Steph is very much like anti that, covered in tattoos, goes to house parties, etc. Tessa then gets invited to this house party and she meets like a whole load of people that she would never have normally have met if obviously she wasn't at college and she didn't have this roommate. And that is how we meet the main guy, and his name is Hardin. Hardin is spelled H-A-R-D-I-N. It's different when Americans say it as opposed to like UK British people, so I just say Hardin. I don't know, that's just how they say it in the trailer. You just follow her for, is it 4 months? Going to college, making new friends and establishing this I'm gonna do it like this relationship with Hardin. And it's sort of like a teenage version of 50 Shades of Grey. I've never read 50 Shades, it doesn't interest me. I saw the first film at the cinema and then never really followed it. I don't know, it's just not my sort of thing. But I like things, I've always been a fan of YA. If you watch me you'll know I love young adult books and I love books set in high school. It always takes me back, it's reflective. I'm 25, so it's not relatable to me, but it's just a guilty pleasure that I have. So reading this book, I just loved it. I loved the characters. Don't get me wrong, they are really flawed. They are really immature and there are a lot of toing and froing, arguments for no reason, but I just loved the book so much. It's one of those books where I've just been so captivated by the story, and I've been reaching, and a couple of girls have messaged me being like, oh my god, I've read this whole series and it's incredible. As soon as I finished this book, I went out and I paid £3.99, which is so unlike me. I paid £3.99 for book 2, and I think book 2 is like just short of 700 pages. Like, they are big. Here she comes again. It's a big series, and literally my brain and everything is just consumed on this. Whenever I had like 15 minutes spare today at work on my lunch break, I was like, oh my god, I just need to read another chapter. I'm so invested in the story. I don't know why. It's not like anything groundbreaking had happened. It's just like to teenagers sort of trying to establish love. And Tessa, look at Rue, for Christ's sake, honestly. Put one child to bed and then the other one wants to bloody come out. Go away! She's such an idiot. I'm just gonna sit here and scrabble at the glass. I feel like I can't carry on my conversation with her bloody doing that in the background. Look at her, she's like, help me mum, mum, come get me. Hello, I'm still here. When Tessa goes to college, she is a virgin. So it's all about her obviously establishing, it's all about her going through the emotions of doing stuff, I guess. And she has been in a relationship for 2.5 years with her current boyfriend Noah. So there's just so much going on. I don't talk anymore about the non-spoiler section. I feel like I've given enough of like a synopsis. If you like sort of like a, I don't want to call it trashy, but I'm going to call it trashy. It's not going to change your life in any way like some other books that I've read have, but I just really like it. So if you want something that you can just fly through, sort of switch off to, you don't really need to use too much brain power, give it a go. I'm holding this and I haven't even got the bloody book cover on it. So yeah, After by Anna Todd. Like I said, the film comes out in April. I can't wait to go and see it. It's something that I probably will go and watch on my own because I don't think any of my friends want to go and watch it. So I'm going to watch the film. The cast look really good. It's the main guy that's playing Hardin is, or was, Tom Riddle in Harry Potter, but he was the young one at the start of Half-Blood Prince. You know, when he's sat in his room and Dumbledore goes to see Voldemort, young Voldemort, whatever you want to call him. And he's saying like he steals things and he speaks to snakes, and then the wardrobe sets on fire. That guy, he's now like 20 and he's the lead guy in this. And I don't know, I've never heard of the lead girl before, but the way I would imagine her to look in the book is exactly how she looks on screen. I'll spoil it, but I really liked it. There's a lot of character development in this as well. I say a lot, there's not. There's a bit of character development which I liked as well. Yeah, now if you haven't read it, and come join me when you have. Okay, spoiler section. I don't even know where to begin because I just loved it. I just loved it so much, and I don't even know why. It's not like, it wasn't like a warm hug like I've said sometimes like about my page turn books and things like that. I come away reading those and I'm like, oh my god, it was just so beautiful. This isn't beautiful. It's not one of those stories. It's just one of those, I do hate to say it, it's one of those like trashy teenage books, but it's just what I love. So that's why I've been putting off, that's why I was hesitant to film this, because it's quite, I want to say it's niche. I don't think a lot of like, I don't know, 45-year-old women are going to want to read this. But I could be wrong. I just enjoyed it as a 25-year-old mother. Loved the relationship between Tessa and Hardin, even though it was quite a negative relationship. It was just really fiery, the way that they were with each other. Like, he would do one thing, she would do another to spite him, and then he'd lash out, and then they'd come back together and be really like, just not violent, like really passionate, but still angry. Like, you could just tell there are a lot of hormones involved with them as characters, and they would do things to piss each other off, which is just so negative. But I just really liked it. I loved the character development when it came to Hardin. Like, he was an asshole through and through, there is no doubt about it, but you could see and hear some of the things that he was saying. I can't remember what chapter, but he would just suddenly like open up to Tess, and she'd think, oh my god, like this is legit, like I'm breaking that really strong, highly built wall, and she's breaking it down piece by piece. I really liked that. I like I said, I think he's an absolute prick for what he did to her, but I still really liked him as a character, and I'm now 22 chapters in to book 2, and if you aren't aware, you see 2 different POVs. You get it from Hardin's and you also get it from Tessa's, and I feel for him so much more in book 2 because I'm getting that perspective as well, which I really like. I wasn't expecting that at all. Tessa as a character, she's just a doormat. I like her. but she's a pushover, and it's really frustrating. As much as I loved it, it's really frustrating to constantly read when he basically clicks his fingers and says jump, and she says how high. That's pretty much what it is. The amount of time she was like, no, I'm done, I've had enough crying. Like, she cries in every fucking chapter. It's a bit, just sort of pull yourself together a bit. Even though she had a really emotional time with Hardin, I wanted her to be a bit stronger, and it was like every time he was justifying himself or doing something or saying something to her, she'd just forgive him like that. And then other things that did irritate me were how he'd be really nice to her, and then obviously because of the way he treated her, I get why she was like that, but it was just a bit childish in the respect of they'd spend the night together and then she'd wake up and be like, oh, I don't know how to act, so then she just acts really like standoffish to protect herself. And then he'd be nice to her and then she'd throw like a really flippant comment. I just felt like just grow up a bit, but again, they're only 18, so things like that I just found a little bit frustrating, but I still read the book in like 3 days and was completely consumed by the whole thing. Literally all my brain is thinking about is what's going to happen in book 2. Like, I've got no idea. Let's talk about scenes that I liked. I also really loved the relationship she had with Landon. I hate all these American names. It was really sweet. He was the support that she needed, and I really liked how she had a platonic friendship with a male. You don't normally see that, I don't think. Normally you have like the girl and her girl best mate, and Tessa doesn't have that. She doesn't really have many girlfriends in this book. And that's another thing, is that she was quite isolated, that I found that she was literally just so consumed by Hardin. She didn't have anyone else to turn to, which I think is not good for her brain. But she still had that with Landon, but not to the extent that you would have like a girlfriend. I guess she was sort of close to Steph, but then again not really, because of what happened at the end. Scenes I liked. I liked the lake scene. That for me was when it really took a turn. You just read up until that point, and then obviously when they start doing stuff, not in like a, oh yeah, I like to read about sex sort of thing, like it wasn't like that at all, but that was when obviously feelings then start getting involved, and that's when you sort of see Tessa going from a girl to a young adult. I don't want to say an adult because she's not, but it's when she like obviously starts like doing things, and again, I don't want to say maturing, but I guess she's maturing in like a sexual way, and she's trying to deal with all of these emotions and stuff that come with doing that sort of stuff. I mean, I can't even fucking remember all that stuff because that was so many years ago for me. So it's nice to read it, I guess. So yeah, I liked the lake scene. I liked just the little scenes that you have with Tessa and Hardin and them being playful with each other. It was quite rare, but I liked all of that. The majority of the book is arguments, obviously, but I still liked it all the same. I really liked it when I liked all the book references. Obviously, me being a bookworm myself, I liked listening about them liking books and how they were comparing their relationship to Wuthering Heights' relationship, or the character's relationship in the English, is it the English literacy class? Literature. I really liked that. I just thought it was quite funny, and I like how compassionate, is compassionate the right word? I like how he's not embarrassed like in school to be talking about books. I like that. I think a lot of guys would be, I assume. Loved the relationship that Tessa helped Hardin build with his dad and his potential stepmom, Landon's mum. I really liked that. I thought it was really sweet, and it shows how much that he relied on her, which isn't healthy. I think as you grow, you need to learn to be on your own 2 feet and not have that person. Obviously you have that person to support you, but to be so fully dependent is not good. But he obviously suffered a lot, and I liked how, just like the little scenes of them, or Karen and Tessa baking and doing the things in the garden, in their greenhouse, and then she was like, you go be with your dad, and how awkward it was with him, but he tried, and he tried for her. I liked that a lot. I didn't see them moving in together in this book. That happened very fast, and again, that's not really realistic. I mean, I guess it could be. I don't really know how college and stuff works over there. but I didn't expect that to happen. But I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed reading it, and Tessa getting that internship and her sort of getting on her 2 feet and getting into publishing and what she wants to do. I liked the fact that she wasn't just stuck at college. I would have liked to have seen more scenes at college. It just seemed like she went to literature class and that was it. Like the whole story is based around them two, but going into book 2 it's not. It's slightly different, which I am enjoying. Reading about all the parties and things like that, and I liked all the secondary characters. I liked Zed. Is his name Zed? Zeb? Zed? I don't know. But the twist at the end, I didn't see coming. I can't believe that it was all done on a bet, that he thought that he could take Tessa's virginity and he bet money on it. Like, it just shows how much of an asshole he was. Like, I just didn't see that coming at all. And neither did my friend. When we I told her to read it, and honestly, my friend Emmy from book club, I read it in 4 days in a lot of sittings. Like, I'd start it when P was at school and I'd put it down and I'd start it again at night time. Emmy read like 600 pages in a day. So at least we're all caught up now and we can read book 2 together. But she was not expecting the ending either, so I know it's not just me. But when we found out that it was a bet, I did not see that coming. I thought that Molly was going to say that she just slept with him again. And then to find out that he bet that he could take her virginity, and he showed her bloody sheets and a used condom, I was like, oh, that's not okay. Yeah, that took me by surprise. Really, really shocked me. But at the end of the book, I still felt like that, yes, okay, he did it with that intent, but he didn't know her. He saw it as a game. But then as soon as he got to know her, he then got really defensive and really protective, and he would never tell them what had happened because he wanted to keep it secret, but he also had to keep up with this persona. I don't know, I felt really conflicted. Neil's just turned out the bloody bedroom light. He felt really conflicted, and at the end of the, now he's turned on the bathroom light. He felt really conflicted, and at the end of the book I was like, oh my god, like, what's going to happen? I didn't see it coming. I don't know how the book was going to end. I honestly thought they were going to go to London for Christmas with to go and see his mum, and it just ended on the bombshell, and I was like, Jesus, that is deep. The ending completely threw me, and after that I literally went straight ahead and read the sample of the next book, and I was like, sod it, you know what, I'm going to buy it. My library doesn't have it, I can't find it cheap, so I'm just going to get it on my Kindle. So the next book is called, hang on, After We Collided. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, it's just there. I have paid for it, and I can't wait to sit down and read some more. So I am really enjoying book 2. I'm like 20 odd chapters in, and it's great. It starts right where it leaves off on book 1, so I definitely recommend doing that. If you have the time to commit, then definitely do it. I'm going to end this video now. I don't know whether I've got much across. I just like to word from it, and I like to sit down and just talk to my camera about books like I'm just talking to a friend. So like I've said before, they won't be very literate, but I just like sitting down talking about books. So leave me a comment below, let me know if you've read this, let me know if you think it's something that you would enjoy. It's probably gone back up to $3.99 now. I'd pay it. I'm paying for all the other ones. So good. I'd definitely pay to read it. If you think that YA is your like little thing, let me know if you've got any recommendations. This book down below, I'd be interested to read some more. I just loved it. I'm now on book 11 of the year, and it's only halfway through February when I'm filming this, so my brain. Anyway, I'm gonna go and continue reading. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me your thoughts and comments below. Don't forget to follow me over on my book club. It's book club with Jess. Message me on there. I'll always try and reply to you, likewise in the comments. But yeah, I'm gonna go and read. I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.